Hello again. I'm going to attempt in this video to show a way that I put guitar strings on and that enable you to keep the guitar in tune. And just to say at the very beginning, this is a system of putting strings on that I was shown many years ago that has worked very well for me in my professional life of playing gigs. And so I'm going to show it to you. And this is also in answer to, this is another Harley Benton. This is I forget the model number, TE something or other, but it's a beautiful black paisley finish. Now, as you can see, I did change the pickup on this because I wanted a humbucker as opposed to a single coil, which the guitar comes with. But anyway, that's not the topic of this. I won't be playing on this. I just want to show, hopefully, I'm not very good at camera things, but anyway. So the idea is that you want the hole here going side to side. So when you start this, you want to be able to put the string in. I call this like on the inside, coming in on the inside. So you put the string in this way, okay? And now what you're doing is you're leaving considerable slack, and I hold it with my ring and little fingers. And then I push really hard so that this is tight behind it here, okay? And then all I do is I simply go over the top of the post and make a little crimp in it, okay? So now the next thing I do is I take the short part of the string and just simply put that underneath the long part and pull those tight. Okay? Now I'm holding this tight again. I'm holding the long part tight, and I'm holding this part tight. And at this point then, what I do, and this is the tricky bit, I come in this way and over the top. And then I push that, and what you have here is a little lock. Okay? And then when I turn it, I use a string winder just for speed's sake. When I turn it then, I hold it really tightly again. And as I turn, sometimes I have to make that on the thicker strings especially, just, make sure that that locks. I'm going to do this again. And when I do it, I hold the string tightly, and I let the windings go down underneath each other. So they're going down on the string post rather than up. Now at this point, it's a good idea to check at the bridge saddle to make sure that your string is lined up pretty, where it should be. So again, if you see that, it's lined up there, okay? And, okay? And you can see how, like, the wind is going underneath the first one, okay? And that's crucial. And what you'll have in the beginning is maybe 2 winds. As time goes on, you'll have 3. And so now I'm going to do this again with the 5th string. So I don't really think there's much to describe about how to put the strings in here. There's a standard Telecaster bridge string through the body. Okay, so now, another thing, just for safety's sake, I never cut these until I'm done with all of them. It's so easy to puncture your finger with the string. So again now, and we'll see if I can get this as close as possible. I'm coming inside. The hole is going side to side. Okay, so I come inside like that. I'll turn this around. Okay. The string's going inside, and with these fingers, these 2 fingers on my right hand, I'm right-handed. Okay? I hold some slack, and then I push. I'm pulling this, and I'm pulling up on this. Okay? And then what I do is I simply, get out of the way here, I simply go over the top of the post and just do that a couple of times, and that gives it puts a bend in the string. Then, excuse me, I come underneath that, okay, and I pull these two tightly, okay. And now while I'm holding this with my left hand tight and this with my right hand tight, I whip this around and over the string. It's going over the string, okay, and back out towards the tuning machines. Now again, excuse me, as I turn, as I tighten it, as I start to wind the string, I still hold it very tightly, guiding it so that the wind goes down the string post as opposed to up on the string post. Now what this does is it creates a lock on the string, and in a very short period of time, once you tune to pitch, the guitar will stay in tune. Now, as I said, at this point you want to check that your alignment on the bridge saddle is okay. Sometimes it can be like next to the bridge saddle, or who knows where it could be. So before you start tightening it, it's a good idea just to check that you have that lined up like that before you start to really go at bringing the string to pitch. Now, I've done, this is my second video, I suppose, doing talking about the Harley Benton line of guitars, and I just want to say that I did a fret truss on this. I've been playing this guitar quite a bit. I bought this a few years ago now, and I do play the guitar a lot, and so what happens is you wear frets out eventually. They get flat. In this case, they got flat, and they didn't read true, was not in tune and whatnot. And, just to say something about, what I think are important features of, like these tuning machines are fine. I have these same machines on the HB 5035 rather, and the guitar stays in tune. This is because I put strings on like this, and that's why it stays in tune. But just to give a mention too, as a repairman, another feature that I think is very good. The neck functions very well. The fret height that comes with the Harley Benton guitars are 50 thousandths of an inch, maybe 55 thousandths of an inch high. The width is standard, maybe 90 thousandths of an inch. But what that means, and the truss rods function really well in both directions. So what that means is you're able to, the repairman is able to straighten the neck, to level the frets. And the frets are placed in such a way that they're all placed well, so that there's none of them are like dipped down. So for those of you who are familiar with fret trusses, sometimes that can be extremely frustrating because you're trying to level and level and level, and there's one or two frets that are like lower than the rest of them, and you have to deal with them. You have to. So, yeah, again, just a plug for this line, and I'm not an endorsee. They're not paying me anything. If you're watching, I wear a size 9 Lamborghini Harley Benton. But again, it's just I've watched a number of videos, and there's some really great stuff out there, and but I think one of the main features of a guitar that I'm interested in is, if I like it, and I do like these guitars, I'm going to need to fret truss them. Eventually, I'm going to need to refret them. And I need to know, like, is that something that I'm going to be able to do in the future? And I think with these, with the ones that I've seen, and I've seen quite a number of them now, because like clients of mine, students of mine, ex-students of mine have these guitars, and I've worked on them, and they're long haul type instruments. They can be repaired, like they can be refret. So anyway, that's how to put strings on. It all happens in the very beginning of the video, so if you need to see it again, if you need any more, close-ups, excuse me, I can try it again, but my camera technique or whatever is not all that great. I'm using just a very basic Samsung phone. I hope that this helps, and like I said, any questions, just put them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said, if you have any other questions, let me know. Thanks very much for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.